Assalamu alaikum students. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. This is me, your computer teacher, and I'm here with a new lecture today. This is the course book that we are studying in this session. In the previous lecture, we studied few topics from chapter number 1, Fundamentals of Computer. We studied about the basic definition of computer, the evolution of computer, how the computer is developed, and the classification of computer. In this lecture today, we are going to see how computer plays a vital role in different fields of life, the careers we can adapt in IT field, and we will learn about computer hardware, system unit, and input devices. As we all know, computer plays a very important role in our daily life. We use computer in banks, in schools, in offices, in hospitals, and we use them in many other places like industries and different offices. Well, in our daily life, we use them for booking tickets. We use them for booking rides, like we use the apps Careem and Uber. As well, we use them for money transfer. We use them in library for keeping record of books present in the library. We use computers and applications for online shopping, for playing games. We use softwares like photo editors, sound editors, video editors. We use softwares for making 3D graphical characters that are used in movies, the animations that we use in movies where different characters act like human actors. If you look at the future of the computers, we see artificial intelligence in it. Well, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is basically it works like human brain. Well, it is associated with the qualities. Like if a machine has the quality of learning, reasoning, and problem solving, this means that that machine belongs to the category of artificial intelligence. Means that machine is using the artificial intelligence technology. Well, the other uh, machines that are being developed are like robots. They are used in industries, in manufacturing units, in science, in education. We are using them. You can take an example of robots, like we use robots to fill the packet of chips. um, they always fill the same amount of chips in every packet. For We use robots for filling the soda drinks, the drinks that we the soft drinks actually, uh, to fill them, and they are always filled at an equal level. Wireless communication is also changing our lives, as we use mobile phones, the 3G, 4G, 5G networks, that is making it convenient for us to communicate with each other, especially using the internet services. as well as the GPS system, global positioning system, that tells the real-time location of a person or an object. Then there is virtual reality. Well, virtual reality is an artificial environment. It is actually created by a software, and then it is presented to the user in a way that he or she feels that it is the real environment. It is mostly used in games or interactive stories. It is still in developmental stage. So the careers in IT fields that we can adapt, or a person studying computer science can adapt. The topmost is software engineer. Well, a software engineer is a person who uses different programming languages to develop software products like games, learning management systems, business applications, educational and entertainment softwares. Means सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर जो है वो एक ऐसा शख्स होता है जो कि डिफरेंट प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस को यूज़ करते हुए सॉफ्टवेयर्स बनाता है, लाइक गेम्स बनाता है, और डिफरेंट बिजनेस एप्लीकेशंस भी बनाते हैं वो, और entertainment softwares भी, like the softwares we use in our computers, the editing softwares, the games that we play, whatever, they all are just prepared by software engineers. Then we have the second one is network administrators. Network administrator is actually an IT expert who manages an organization's network. They are responsible for installing, maintaining, and upgrading any software hardware required to efficiently run a computer network. So this means network administrator are basically manager of an organization's network. What he do? He manages the network, or like if there is a requirement of some new software, or if there is a requirement of some new hardware, the network administrator is a person who is going to fulfill this requirement. Means he is going to bring that hardware unit, buy that hardware unit, or install that hardware unit actually, keep an eye on the network, keep it maintained, and keep it running efficiently. Then there is database administrator. A database administrator is a professional who maintains secure database environment in an office, business, or organization. Means he maintains a secure database of an office, a business, or organization. Then we have a web designer. Well, web designer is actually a person who prepares a site content with eye-catching designs, attractive images, strong text. They rely on many web designing tools to ensure an interactive website. They actually work on how a site looks, how it works. They design a website actually. In short, we can say the designer of a website, just like the website, the social websites like Facebook, entertainment website like YouTube, the way they look, the way the uh, different tabs are there, the way the images are shown on the web page, they are all actually designed by a web designer. Then we have a graphic designer. Graphic designer develops the overall layout of brochures, magazines, and other type of published advertisement and documents. Then we have information security analyst. Well, these people protect networks. They plan and carry out security measures to ensure that no loss of data occurs. We can call them the police force of internet. Computer technology has expanded into online banking and business. And you know that there are computer hackers also, and they are always looking for computer for people account details or other stuff like that. So information security analyst actually keeps a check of the network and ensures that everything remains secure and ensures that there is no theft of data or information occurs. And then the last one is computer science or IT teachers. Well, it is a very rewarding career for computer science graduates and postgraduates in teaching in school, colleges, and universities. They teach computer science. They teach different other things. They then we have the next topic that we are going to cover today, which is computer hardware. Well, let's see the definition. Computer hardware is a collection of all the physical parts or components of a computer. It includes the computer casing, the CPU or central processing unit, computer memory, graphic card VGA, sound card, and the motherboard. This means all the physical components of a computer that we can touch, feel, or move from one place to another physically are called the computer hardware. Some of the examples are given here: the CPU, the computer memory like RAM, ROM, and other. Then we have the graphic card, sound card, and the motherboard itself that is present in the casing of the CPU. System unit. Well, system unit is a part of computer that contains the primary devices. Means it can includes the motherboard, CPU, RAM, and other component, as well as the case in which these devices are enclosed. So let's see the first part of the system unit, that is a motherboard. Well, a motherboard is the main board actually, which connects different parts of computers. It includes general components like the microprocessor, which is called the CPU or the central processing unit, slots for different cards or other connectors. Then we have ports, buses, RAM, ROM. RAM is random access memory and ROM is read only memory, and other electronic components like resistors, capacitors, diodes, transistors, jumpers. You must have seen them if you ever have opened a CPU. You can see a motherboard, a picture of motherboard in your uh, course book also on page number 15, as well as you can search it on internet too. Well, let me define it a bit more. The motherboard uh, is just like our nervous system. It allows communication between all parts. uh, we have here memory slots, the CPU is here, uh, other chips. There are number of chipsets on motherboard, and they are how they are made actually. Well, they are made layered fiberglass. These layer contains copper lines that forms the circuit by which electrical signal are provided to all parts of computer. So basically, the motherboard is the main part which contain various components, and also it contains the ports or connectors for connecting other devices like input, output, and other peripheral devices to it. Then we have the second one, that is the microprocessor, actually the CPU, which is present on the motherboard. CPU is the brain of computer. Microprocessor is a chip containing millions of tiny transistors. These transistors manipulate data. Microprocessor actually performs all the calculations necessary to make the computer work. They are very high speed and accurate, and they are made of silicons. A microprocessor typically has 5 components: the ALU, that is the arithmetic and logic unit, that performs the arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, while logic comparisons like comparing, selecting, and matching of data. The other one is control unit, CU. Control unit is responsible for controlling the transfer of data and instruction among the other units of computer. The unit controls the operation of all parts of the computer but does not carry any actual data processing operation. This means the control unit is just like a traffic policeman. It manages and coordinates all the units of computer. It just transfers data from one part to the other. Then we have a clock. The clock generates pulses and instructions are executed on the basis of pulses. The clock speed is measured in megahertz and gigahertz. This clock actually gives the speed of microprocessor. The more the speed of the clock, the more fast the microprocessor is. Then we have registers. Registers are basically temporary storages. They just hold data that is being processed, and then they just flush it out or move it from one part to the other. They are also known as programming models, and they have 8 bits, 16 bits, 32 bits, or 64 bits of memory. Then we have cache. Cache is an intermediate storage area which is available inside microprocessor. The immediate processed information is stored in cache. The cache inside the microprocessor is called internal cache, and outside is called external cache. It's just a type of a storage area, or it is type of memory. It is also a temporary memory. The third important part of the system unit is buses. Buses are the electrical path or which data is sent and received by different components. They are just like roads. As roads connect different places, buses connects all the parts of computer to each other. There are 3 types of buses: control bus, data bus, and address bus. Control bus carries commands between different components to control the activities in a computer. Data bus carries data between the microprocessor, memory units, and other components. And then we have the address bus, which carries the addresses of data. The address bus is used to specify memory location to be used by microprocessor for specific operation. So these are the 3 parts of the system unit. Then we have the next subtopic, that is about input devices. What are input devices? Input devices are actually used to enter data to a computer. These devices can also be characterized. As you can see, I have characterized them into 4 sub parts, or you can say I have characterized them into 4 types. Number 1 is text entering devices. A text entering device is used to enter data in text format or to perform other controlling functions. Keyboard is actually the device that is used for text entering. When a key is pressed, keyboard controller chip sends its corresponding code in keyboard buffer called scan code, which is then processed by the CPU and action is taken by the computer. Then we have the second type, that is pointing devices. They are used for quick movement of cursor on a screen, needed usually in graphic mode. As you see, we can move the cursor on the screen by mouse nowadays. We use joystick also. Joysticks are mostly used for playing games. Then we have trackballs as an example of pointing devices also. I am going to show you some of the pictures of these devices on the next slide. So let's move to the next topic first. Then we have image scanners. Image scanners, actually they are a type of scanner that can convert images into electronic format understandable by computer through light sensing. You guys must have seen an electronic scanner, that is a barcode reader. When we go to some supermarket or any store, what they do, they just show the product to a scanner which gives a beep, and the total information of that product is just shown on the computer in front of them. That is actually a example of image scanner, barcode reader. Other image scanner are also in use, just like optical mark recognition, optical mark reader, uh, and optical character recognition also. We also have some other type of input devices like touch screen. We all know the tablets, the mobile phones, and some of the laptops now also have the ability of that can we can use them in touch screen mode. So touch screen is also an example of an input device. Then we have magnetic ink character recognition or magnetic strip reader. It is a type of device that is used to read the credit card when we swipe them. The machine in which we swipe the credit card is actually a magnetic strip reader. As well as microphones, mics, in short we call them mic are also an example of the input device. These are some of the input devices. Let me show you this one. The one that I ticked is a keyboard. We all know it actually. Then we have the other one, the second one that I circled. It is a mouse. We use it. The third one is a joystick. These joysticks are usually used for playing games. Then we have a trackball. A trackball is just like a mouse. As in old time we use mouse, there is a ball between the beneath the mouse. So on a trackball there is a ball on the top, and we move this ball, we rotate this ball to move the cursor. Then if we look down a bit on the slide, there is the image that I am circling. It is a microphone or a mic. They may be of any other shape also, but it is an example of an input device. Then we have a barcode reader here. Then this machine is actually, you must not have seen them actually in somewhere working, but it is used um, when we give test of some institute, some objective based text. So mostly they use a special kind of sheet, just like this one, the one if you just look below the keyboard, the one that I ticked, this type of sheet. On this sheet, what the person do, the person who is giving the test just colors the correct option, and when this sheet is scanned in this machine is actually called the optical mark reader, or the optical mark recognition machine. When this is passed this sheet is passed through this machine, it read the colored or the filled options and fed the information in the computer, which then processes it for further uses. And this the last image that is left is an example of the barcodes. We must have seen them on products. They are used to save information about the product. So that's it for today. I hope you guys must have enjoyed it. You guys must have understood many things. Thank you.